Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? Ready to get your art on? I am. Hey, Carol. Hi, Sue. So nice to see you this morning. So, today, hey, Aunt Mer, how are you? How is Michigan this morning? I'm missing it. That's for sure. That is for sure. But Teresa and I will be home in about a month, I guess. In about a month. Super excited for that. You know, roadside stands and Michigan in the summer, there's nothing better, really. I just designed another set of Michigan stamps for Paper and I, the one that's in Marshall, Michigan. And it is Michigan, summertime in Michigan. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So I haven't received mine yet, but I'm super excited. And there's a special add-on if you order them, if you purchase them, then we've created some vinyl stickers with some of the artwork, so that's super cool too. So today I wanted to play with the technique that we used on Mother's Day, where we paint our background first and then print on that. So let's talk about that. So today I'm going to use Oxides. I'm going to use the brand new Savage Patina. So I have Salvage Patina. I have not used it. I thought it would be super fun to just try it out live with you guys. I just got my bundle from Paper and I in Connecticut. And so, and you know, Tracy's just the best. She's just the best. So, I thought I would try this new color, and sorry, I'm getting my printer ready for to print as soon as my background is ready. So let's get Shelli up. That's the one I'm going to print today. So, okay, so I presume everybody's kind of done this background, but if not, I'll kind of walk you through my steps. So, I'm going to take my Distress Oxide pad, and I'm going to just squish it down here on my mat that I'm creating on. Find my paper towels. And I thought I had a squirty bottle of water around here. This desk isn't that big, so you wouldn't think that I would, you know, lose stuff, but I do always. So I'm just going to use this. Get it wet, and then I'm just going to take my watercolor paper, and the watercolor paper typically has two sides. One side has a little bit more texture than the other, so I'm going to use the more textury side just because that's, you know, fun. And I'm just going to keep moving it around, right? And here's the trick with Distress Oxides, is to dry it in between each layer. So I just got a little bit of a base color down there. We're going to dry that, and then we're going to, this is the coolest, like you get such cool texture and really cool visual interest when you do this technique because you can't really control it. It's just going to kind of do its own thing, right? So let me grab a mister that has some water in it, and we'll start with our next layer. So I'm going to squish some more, right? And squirt it with my mister, and then just continue to just squish it down into that textured side of the watercolor. Right, so just keep squishing it down. There we go. Now it's starting to take shape, and we'll just keep drying in between each layer. Oh my gosh, yesterday I got to go spend a few hours with my artsy friend Jeannie, and we haven't been able to just hang out and make art. We didn't get to make art yesterday, but we just got to see each other's faces and sit together in her house. It was crazy. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It's just, isn't that the craziest thing that we just, now that we're able to get out and about a little bit more, that it's we kind of I think appreciate those little simple pleasures a little bit more, since we haven't been able to have them in forever. So I'm feeling like I want to mix some oxides. So I was thinking, so this is beautiful, isn't it? The Salvage Patina. I'm feeling like I want to also use some of that Kitsch Flamingo, because I feel like those two colors will work really nicely together. And let's see if we can wipe some of this up. So I have a little bit cleaner base. I don't know how purple got on there. Whatever. Okay, so let's do some Kitsch Flamingo. And this is also Oxide. So this is so cool. What happens now? So it kind of lays on top. And I just want to try and get color on the whole sheet, right? And then dry in between. And the cool thing about Oxides is the pink doesn't blend into the Salvage Patina greeny blue. It's right on top. And then we can continue to just build and build and build and build. And then we can, once we get like a nice base color on here. So now let's go back to our Salvage Patina. And we can so I'm kind of looking around for places that need a little bit more color. Like the corners, it looks like I'm kind of missing color there. There we go. Yep, perfect. Now I think I want to add a little bit more pink. Oh, it looks like I have a little bit of this. So the trick is you really need to make sure that each layer of color is dry underneath. So now I feel like it's time to start building up the pink, because we've got lots of the salvage patina, but that's the newest color, so I really wanted to play with that and showcase it a little bit. Ooh, I got some little stubborn spots over here. So how is everyone today? Did anyone happen to watch the video from Sunday? That was the new artsy surprise. I told you, like, I just let's get some little more pink on there. Just all over. Just little by little, build it, build it, build it. And then we'll do just like we did on Good Morning, Keels. Everybody is pretty quiet this morning, which is kind of unusual. So I'm using the technique that I played with on Sunday. So let me know if you watched Sunday. That one we watercolored a background and then ran it through the printer. Today we're going to use Oxides, but then do the same technique where we're going to paint our background, so to speak, and then so this one I'm going to try and do, if I get some, ooh, pretty. We're using Oxides, but we're going to do the same thing. We're going to create a background and then run that through the printer to get our printable artwork onto the paper. And then we're just going to kind of fiddle around and enhance that after. So let's try and clean this up a little bit. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to dry this one. I love this technique too. Hey Sharon, welcome. You're brand new here. So glad to see you. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do pop-in paint parties, and we do fun artsy techniques with my art printables. So today we're creating a background, and we're going to create the background all the way, and then run it through the printer. Not all the way, because, you know, it'll go on and on and on. Okay, so I really wanted to share with you the dripping water technique on Oxides, because you can really see it on the Oxides, because the Oxides just react so well to water that right? So we're gonna let that sit for a minute. So did everybody have did you? Oh my gosh, I love that, Sue. I love that. I know, it's so cool, isn't it? Like once you start, Keely sent me pictures just this morning of 2 backgrounds that she did and that she printed on. Carmen sent me a picture that I put in the Instagram post of a background that she did. So we're gonna, I told them that I would, Carmen and I were talking about how, so I'm using watercolor paper. Look at that, so pretty. But we talked about playing with the same technique on cardstock, on copy paper. I mean, you could do it on anything, right? And the thing about, oh my gosh, I'm loving this so much. The thing about, I think so too, Keels, because everybody would be so inspired, I think. Like this one, I really want to funk it up quite a bit and then print. And it does get pretty wrinkly because you're putting lots of water on it, right? But once you, as long as it is super, super dry and you run it through your printer, the printer's going to kind of flatten it out because the printer is usually hot, right? At least my laser printer is. Was your, Carmen? Is Carmen here? I don't think so. Keels, you used your inkjet printer, didn't you? So let's see. I have some nice visual interest with the light spots, but I think I kind of want a little bit more. I think maybe I need to let it sit just a little bit more. And then because I bought the bundle, I thought that I could do layers and layers of this. So I did layers and layers of color. And now I'm going to do layers and layers of the watery technique. Okay, so that's right. Okay, so Carmen says that she heat set it. Yeah, so, and she heat set it by ironing it. So that's really good to know. So she ran hers through an inkjet and then just heat set it by ironing it and then was able to, so Carm, did you enhance it after you printed on it, or did you just cut it apart and make cards from that raw experience? Keely, I printed mine on inkjet and had no problem with bleeding. One of my pages went in a bit crooked. There you go. Well, sometimes that happens, doesn't it? Honestly. Oh, everybody take a drink. So I am drinking fruit infused water this morning. I cut up an orange and put it in my water. So delicious and refreshing. Remember I told you I just needed some kind of flavor. I just needed something. So oranges, come on, they're delicious. It's nice and refreshing. Okay, so now I'm going to lay my paper towels down. I'm going to try double paper towels this time, see what happens. If that makes a difference, who knows? But I just want to, yep, so pretty. Ooh, cucumber's nice too. Keely and I were talking about, that's what you get when you go to a spa. Cucumber water, it's lovely. Okay. So that is looking so good. I'm loving that. Can you guys see the difference? Maybe after I dry it, you'll be able to see the difference that water makes. I'm trying to come up a little closer. There, do you see all of the oxided drippity droppities? Does that help everybody see? Okay, so I think this needs to dry just a little minute more, and then I'm gonna run it through the printer so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm printing the Shelli art printable this morning. Keely sent me a picture that she did Carolyn with all the funky roses, remember? Not the individual roses, but the ongoing, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna print this now. Live and on television. Sort of. Okay, print. Here we go. see it. Oh, it looks so good, you guys. Look at it. So tie-dye-ish, isn't it? I know. I love that they sit on top of each other too. I do too, Carm. Okay, so, oh my gosh. Do you know what's so crazy? Like, you couldn't have planned this. You know what I mean? You couldn't have planned it. So I'm going to cut mine apart so that we can play with some fun techniques. There we go. And I told you I really like this technique because my sentiments match my card artwork. Right? I cut there. And cut there. So when I do like the continuous artwork, you'll notice that I put little tick marks so you kind of have a guide for cutting. All right. So now, okay, so I have a couple of things. So this one, so I also have Distress Oxide sprays, which I thought might be kind of fun to see what happens. And remember, it's a spray, so you can spray it or you can drip it, drippity-droppity. You know what I mean? So I'm going to shake up the Salvage Patina and the Kitsch Flamingo. And then, this one, I need to take the wrappery thing off. There we go. Okay. So let's see. Let's try this super light one, the individual piece of art. And it seems like this happened on Sunday, or yeah, on Sunday's class. And I don't particularly know why, but you know what? Let's look at the Sunday artwork. Okay, so here's where we did watercolor. There we go. So remember, this is where we enhanced with a little bit, we painted some of the outlined areas to kind of enhance the design, and then we did the water drops, because the water drops are gonna like give it a more organic feel and like lighten it up. So it's interesting to look at these two. So this is the oxide and this is the watercolor. Interesting, right? This is the watercolor. It was certainly, we did lots of water drips on here and drying them off. And then we did drips of the colors that we painted. So we have some deeper shades of all of those colors. And then we also did Dr. P.H. Martin's white, bleed proof white. So we had a nice bright, right? But look at that. Look at the difference. Do you see what oxides have that, like, obviously the look of oxidized paint, which is something super fun and cool to play with. So there's that. And then here's the two A2 sizes, right? So here's the watercolor, here's the oxide. Super cool. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but here, and here, look at it. I love that these both are like a perfect match for the artwork for our cards. So let's take the individual piece of artwork. So we can spray. So well, let me see if I have something that I can spray so you can see. Right? So we could do that. Or we can take this out and just flick like that. Or you could paint with it. You can do whatever you want with it, right? So let's dry that so that we can just tap it off. So you can, do you see, like you can do so many things. Just know that just because it says spray doesn't mean you can only spray. You can do whatever you want. All right, so let's do, let's spray it. But look at that, really made it pink. And that's all right, but just know that spray is kind of everywhere. Drippity droppity. Oh, thanks, Hetty. How are you? How is the Netherlands this morning? So we are playing with painting the whole background and then running it through our printer to see, like, to just see something new and different, fun techniques. So, and we are using Distress Oxides. So we're using the two newest Distress Oxides from Tim Holtz. We're using Kitsch Flamingo and Salvage Patina, which is kind of interesting to me that we got this really, like it's almost, we've gotten this blue, which is kind of unexpected. I'm gonna try some more. So I just sprayed it with Kitsch Flamingo Spray Oxide, Distress Oxide, and that really made it pink. And so, I mean, not that I don't like it, I just want to lighten it. Do you know what I mean? I really like when there is highs and lows, bright, you know, lots of contrast. So let's lighten that a little bit with our water, and then we will, who knows what we'll do next. Anybody have any ideas? Anybody have something they want to try? Just let me know. So let's tap this off and see what we get. Ooh, that helped. That helped quite a bit, I think. So we're gonna dry and remember, this is the most important thing, just dry in between each of your layers. That's super important. So I think I want to do some, I'm going to take the, I'm just going to splat with some pink. Yep, I'm loving that. And then let's do the same with the Salvage Patina and see how that goes. That's pretty cool. So let's, I'm loving the new colors too. And you know what's so crazy? I was just talking to Keely. I was so convinced it was going to be purple or yellow. But I'm really, you know what? Salvage Patina was a complete surprise, but I totally love it. I mean, it's got to be a pretty horrid color for me to not love it. You know? Lovely, lovely, lovely. It's looking more artsy and artsy and artsy as the time goes by with each layer. I'm really liking that. These are taking a little longer to dry because they're, I think because it's thicker, it's not as watery, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside because it's taking way too long to dry, and I can't imagine that that's fun for you to just watch me paint dry, literally. So let's pull out our A2. So it's quite light, I think, and so I don't know, shall we try to spray with the oxide. Maybe I'll try and be further away. That's better. If I'm further away, and then really splatter it. So that made this one really, really so much more patina-y, didn't it? Which isn't a bad thing. It's just kind of interesting to look at the difference. Like the spray really does make a difference, doesn't it? But I feel like I think I want to do some splatter of the pink on this one too, because that's going to brighten it up. But then I also think that I really want to make sure that I splatter with white, because that's going to lighten everything. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Hetty. Well, and that's going to add you some really nice dimension too, isn't it? Add ya. You know what I'm saying. It's going to give lots of dimension. And who doesn't love a paisley? I just love a paisley. Like now I want to draw some more paisleys. Because I had so much fun drawing this one. Okay, so for this one, I think I'm going to do the same, where I'm going to set it aside. And then now we have our last one, our slimline. And I'm wondering if on this one we just do the splatter, do you know what I mean? And not the spray at all. Just because this has such good color just the way it is. I mean, you could use this to paint areas, but I feel like for me, because this one is so painterly, I feel like it might take away from the cool organic vibe we got going, you know? But you know, you do you. You do whatever makes you happy. Okay. So I feel like that's good. I'm gonna dry this. I do have some stuff I want to show you that we had created over some of our last art printable, or excuse me, pop-in paint party days. Like I wanted to show you where I was kind of going with some of them. And I just, again, you know what? I just started to pull out some supplies that I hadn't played with in a bit. So let's clean this up. Before we do our next thing. Oh my gosh, I have spray everywhere. Good thing everything's washable in this place. Okay. Let's bring in the big guns. Clorox wipes. That's gonna really, there we go. So much better. I mean, and here's the thing about Oxides. I could absolutely go in and do the water thingy on top of those printables that we just painted. You could just do immense like layers and layers and layers. It could go on and on and on. So, there we go. You know, just know that you can play for hours with it. Just make sure that you, like I said, dry in between each layer. That's the key with Oxides. I'm going to keep this wet one up here just in case. Okay, so I have a couple things I wanted to talk to you about or show you. So do you remember when we did this card where we used our Wink of Stella, we pulled out our Wink of Stella and glossy accents, and look at how, so it was pretty. So I just set it on my counter and let it sit for like a couple days. And then I put it underneath a couple of dictionaries. So it could really flatten it out. So it's pretty flat. But I'm telling you, I'm loving that. So what did I learn? I learned lighter works better on this. So like this flower starts to feel a little bit muddy, and this flower feels a little bit muddy to me. Like I can't see the depth that I can here. Do you know what I'm saying? So I will totally be mindful of that if I do this technique again, and I absolutely will, because it's just fun. You know, I just thought it was super fun to play with something new, you know? So, okay, so there's that one. And then the other one I wanted to talk to you about was, do you remember these? I was having so much trouble, like trying to come up with something that, that would, enhance it. Like I felt like it was kind of flat, and I didn't want it to be flat at all. And so what I did was I used my Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white, and I splattered. And then I had gone to Scraps of Love and picked up new Dina Wakley gloss sprays. And you know, this too, you can use in a million ways, right? You can spray it, you can paint with it, you can paint with the, with this, you can put a, she has like a needle nose applicator that you can, it's the one with the pink on it that will fit this jar. And so you could use that, and right with it, you could do all kinds of things. But like I had this vision of like kind of 1940s fabric, like curtains. I don't know why that kind of stuck in my head. But anyway, so I started to I just poured some in a palette and just started painting. So I'm going to paint a couple of coats so it's pretty glossy next to this. Because you see I have some kind of divoty pieces here. So I'm going to go back in there and paint that background, but I'm really like, it's coming along. So remember what I said, don't ever throw something away. Just set it aside, because you never know when you're going to be like, oh, hey, what if I tried that? What if I tried this? What if I, you know. So anyway, and pull out those supplies that you've been keeping in a drawer, because every once in a while you're like, oh, I haven't used Color Burst in a while, which I think we should totally use those next week, because you know, we haven't used Color Burst in a while, and they're super fun. So speaking of next week, I wanted to talk to you about I post the calendar on the Corbiere-Scott Designs page, but I really wanted to talk to you about really utilizing it so you kind of know what's coming, but also to remind you that anything that is free creative content from me is recorded live and you can watch anytime. It's just saved on my Corbiere-Scott Designs page, and you can access it and watch it anytime, as many times as you want. So we had And remember, I started this Watch Social Media. So this one was a new printable. Remember, that was Right Brain Art. That was the Folk Roses. And then Sunday was the Watch Social Media today was a surprise pop-in paint party. So this Saturday, I teach my whimsical lettering class, but I also have another Watch Social Media today artsy surprise. So be on the lookout for that. And then on the 16th, the week of the 16th, we have new art coming out again. So I can hardly wait to share with you. There's still time to sign up for whimsical lettering, Let's Get Artsy with Our Bibles, and Inspire Your Heart with Art. And just know that every Tuesday and Thursday we're here and we're making art. Let's see. So let's set these aside and we'll come back to our 3 pieces that we were playing with. I feel like they all need some white because they're all starting to feel pretty flat in color. Does everybody see what I'm saying about that? Like they all feel, there's not enough contrast. Like there needs to be some more contrast. So let's do, like, I think maybe let's do one at a time, but let's pull some of our Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. Hello, Kathy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm just going to pull some from the end of my paintbrush, and I'm just going to put it right here on my mat. This rubbery mat from Ranger, which can I tell you I just love. Okay, so let's mix that up. So we just get a nice white, really bright white watercolor, because that's what Bleed Proof White is, a special formulation of watercolor that won't pick up the, what do I want to say? It won't pull the color from underneath. Do you know what I'm saying? So let's brighten those up with some splatters. And that's looking really so much better. I need a little bit more over here, I think. I'll set that one there. And then this one, let's do the same thing. You just let me know which one you want, Hetty. Whatever one you want. You just let me know. Okay, so let's, and I'll just email it to you. I just feel like that white really helped it brighten everything up. And it's interesting how okay, so we can set that aside to dry and this one aside to dry. Okay, you let me know, Jan. You let me know. This one, I feel like I want to put a little more white because it's so deep. Okay, I gotcha. I'll send you the paisley. I'll get on it right after class today. Yep, I'm liking that one because it's kind of looking like snow, isn't it? Would you like this one, Jan? Okay. You got it. You got it. And this one, I hadn't put any white on yet, so I think I'll do that too. Because, you know, I can't waste this paint. Oh, pretty, Carol. Be sure to post the pictures of what you've created in the private group. I just love that. That's this, I'm telling you, I try to tell people, it's the greatest group in all the land, isn't it? So let's clean this up. Oh, I have that wet. Yay. Okay, I will, I will post it today. I will post it today, Miss Laura. Last week was just so busy with that Instagram hop and some other artsy commitments. So my stuff kind of fell to the back burner. But it will, this week, everything will go up. I promise. Okay. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about today? Oh, I shouldn't have cleaned it all up because now I just saw something else that I could have splattered white on. So I hope that everybody loved playing with that technique of painting a background. And, you know, Carmen and I were talking, like, you could do stripes. You could do radiating circles. You could do many colors that you watercolor, and remember, you can watercolor with anything that's a water-based product. So Lime Ricky, this totally, anything water-based means that water will move the color, right? So Catherine Pooler inks, Distress Oxides, regular Distress, watercolors, gelatos, any of those products are the same premise. Water will move that product. So you can create a background with any of those products. And here's the thing, you don't have to print on it right away. You could just paint your backgrounds and put those in a folder and save them for later. And let's also try painting a background on cardstock and painting a background on copy paper. So here's copy paper. So I thought that that might be kind of fun. So let's use Distress ink with that one. So, but we're going to do that same. We'll do that same technique where we just squish our ink pad down on our mat, add water. Ooh, Cosmic Shimmer. Ooh, that's a great idea. So I'm going to just randomly paint like lots and lots of color on here, and then I'm going to do that tap technique so we get lots of highs and lows. Do you see that? Come on, how pretty is that? Like the whole paper is going to be, and remember, this one's going to get pretty wet. That's all right, right? We can, because you can always iron it and flatten it right back out. So I'm just going to continue to build layers of color. And remember, this is just copy paper. So I just want everybody to know that you can play with techniques on whatever you've got, you know? We'll also do it on cardstock, see what happens with that. That's a cool idea too. So I just want to get a base of color on here. And I'm not painting in any particular order or But do you see how the ink kind of beads up when you tap it on wet? I love that, and so I want to get those speckles. Stop it, look at that. So pretty. So let's do that some more. So that really kept that square shape, but what if we wanted it to be more organic, but we really liked that? So let's do that, and then let's just spritz it with our sprayer and see what we can build from that. We have all those little bits. Make sure you just don't waste any of those little bits of goodness. Oh, I'm loving this. It's just building and building and building. Don't you? I do too, Hetty. I do too. It's just, because it's just so freeing, you know? It's, I feel like I need to, this is pretty wet, so I think I need to dry it before I do my next layer. But this, I'm kind of digging that, and so I kind of want to do more of that on the whole sheet. Those layers of that, where the square of the ink pad shows. And because this is so thin, it dries pretty quick. That's for sure. Because this got so painty up here, I really want to give it some nice inky texture at the top. So I want to do that same. Right, and let's give it a little squirt. And let's do this side right here. Yep, that's exactly what we wanted. Then we'll do some more with all the little leftover bits. Yep. Look how pretty that is. I think I want to do more up at the top though. I know, and isn't it crazy, Jan, that like none of it started out that way? Do you know what I mean? Like we just kind of, whatever. It's just, I have a white top on today. That was pretty brilliant, wasn't it? When I'm getting so inky. It just kind of evolves, and I think that's the fun, is not having a plan, just going for it. Because that's when you're going to when you just let go of your inhibitions, that's when you're going to get some of the best results, right? So remember, this is just copy paper. And here's the thing, I also have the Distress ink spray. So I could spray it, or I could do the splatters like I did with the Oxides. But I think I'm just gonna set this aside and kind of see, it is pure play, and that's the best, isn't it, Keels? I just love it. I just love it. So this one is just copy paper. So now let me get a piece of cardstock. Okay, and let's do some of the same techniques with that and see what we get. So this one, let's squish down. So let's try and get a lot on this one. Oh, I'm running out of water in my little squirty. So this one, instead of stamping it down, let's kind of drag it through. Whoa! And see what we get. Look at that. I'm loving that. Okay, so let's just continue to it is a fun way to play with lots of color combinations. So because I used pink on this one, on the Oxide, oh, I need some more water. I think I want to try something different. And this is just, okay. I think I want to try a different color for my second color, like maybe something orangey. So let's see. See if that works. Or speckled egg, cracked pistachio. Like that might be kind of cool to do, like shades of a kind of a color, you know what I mean? So let's do it's looking so pretty. Where's my this poor Clorox wipe. I'm so thrifty that, you know, I'll wait until it's like saturated with other color, honestly. Okay, so let's try, you know what, at first I was thinking opposites, but let's do speckled egg and cracked pistachio. Let's see what happens with that. Because that might, oops. So pretty, right? And I love when it does this, when we just have little dots of color. I love that. And just know that both of these are going to get run through the printer, and I'll print something on it and see what happens. So I'll try and do that before Thursday's class. But on Thursday's class, I also want to do, I have another, I just got somebody turned me on to a tool that I want to play with you guys. And I haven't even opened it to try. So we'll try that live on Thursday. And that is, you know, I haven't used my Zig Clean colors in a while. And so, but the Zig Clean Color water base pen blender is like, because you have a pretty decent fine point on your nib here, that might be fun for coloring. So I want to really play with that on Thursday. And then let's do some card finishing, because now I have this backlog of art that I need to make into cards. Okay, so let's do that. We'll do that right on the hole on the end. I have all these little pockets of ink that I want to use up. Look at that. It's so pretty, you guys. Now I don't know that I want to do the speckled egg. I feel like this is enough, just the way it is. So again, on this, we can absolutely do the water splatter thing. So let's dry it, and then we'll try that. And then we can also do, like I said, you can do splatter on top of it. You can do whatever you want, right? Because I feel like I want, oh, it's so pretty, isn't it? It just looks like the sea, I think. I feel like I want some darks and lights, so I'm feeling like maybe I want to do some splatters with, like some painty splatters. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. But all I can say is, oh, what a blast. What a blast. So I will print on these and play with these in the day in between our next our pop-in paint party. Hey, Barbara. So we are creating backgrounds first and then running it through the printer to print my art printables. So, oh, this is, oh my gosh, so pretty. I love this. So this one is cardstock. This one is just copy paper. And this is watercolor paper. And then we splattered and did all kinds of stuff on top. So I hope that everybody had a great time today. If you are new here, if you would please follow and like Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I would greatly appreciate it. Go out and make some art today. I can hardly wait to see what you create. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time. I appreciate you, and I will see you for sure on Thursday. Bye, everyone.